Everybody. It's time for the county executive to provide his annual county executive report for the Rensselaer County today. And it's my pleasure to introduce Steve McLaughlin, our county executive, who has done probably 80 or 85 miles of roads for this county in the last 2 years, has definitely protected our seniors and stood alone against the governor of the state of New York and done an excellent job at that, not only protecting the seniors, but the residents of Rensselaer County when it comes to senior events, senior activities as well, and also has done a 0% tax increase over the last 3 years, which I know that the Rensselaer County residents definitely appreciate, as well as this body has had the privilege and the opportunity to work with and also provide good legislation throughout the county since his inception as county executive is elected to it. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce County Executive Steve McLaughlin. Steve?
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, everybody. A little different this year than usual, but welcome to everybody on Facebook or Zoom looking in. Appreciate that. So good evening to the people of Rensselaer County, and I want to thank everybody here, Chairman Stamel and members of the legislative body, for welcoming me tonight. Last year, I stood before you and discussed our strong record of accomplishments. I laid out a vision for the future of our great county. About a year ago tonight, so much of our mission changed. We confronted an illness that was strange and scary, and at that time largely a mystery to science and medicine. We learned a new language and new ways to behave. We began to quarantine, to social distance and wear masks. Staying home became normal. Meetings became virtual. Visits with family and friends were done in windows or computer screens, and daily counts of new cases were among the biggest headlines. We waited nervously for test results, and we prayed for those who were sick. This was history in the making, and it was not expected. Rensselaer County was challenged in ways we have never experienced in our lifetimes, and hopefully never will again. We can be proud that our county met the challenge and wrote a bright new future and new chapter in our history. When there was fear and doubt, we responded with compassion and common sense. When so many felt overwhelmed, our county hosted life-saving technology and medicine. And when there was loss and sadness, we countered with growth and optimism. When the days were troubled and confusing, we did not forget our values and our mission. In fact, the toughest days of the pandemic produced one of the moments I am proudest of as county executive. On March 25th, Governor Cuomo and his Health Commissioner Howard Zucker issued the order to place COVID-19 positive residents into our nursing homes. That order also forbid the testing of incoming residents. It was made very clear by the governor's allies that they expected full compliance. I read that order, the worst I have ever read in my public career. And I responded very clearly and very simply, not here, not now, not ever. I defied that order. In fact, I was the only county executive in the state to do so. And we saved lives at Van Rensselaer Manor by doing that. In the days and weeks that followed, we learned of the governor's displeasure as we received threatening correspondence on state letterhead, surprise inspection after surprise inspection from various offices, attempts by state inspectors to gain access to the manor without first demonstrating, as required by their own rules, that they themselves had tested negative. As you have all seen, the actions by the governor and his team were corrupt, thuggish, and nowhere near in the best interests of the people of this county or those served at the Van Rensselaer Manor. We did not back down. We knew what was right. We knew what our job was, to protect those entrusted to us at the Van Rensselaer Manor. We did our job, even in the face of tremendous pressure. Imagine what could have happened if we had followed the governor's order. In fact, you don't have to imagine, because we saw it play out at other nursing homes around the state. And experts now say that 15,000 seniors died in nursing homes in New York State. But not here, not on my watch. During 2020, Rensselaer County came together and showed that we could not be stopped and that we believed our best days are ahead. We learned that heroes walk among us, including many who serve with us every day in county government. We have seen major challenges before and responded each time with excellence, innovation, and ingenuity. Time and time again, we have refused to be set back and instead rose to new greatness. That spirit is needed again in Rensselaer County in 2021, and I believe that spirit is alive today in the place we call home. In fact, some of our greatest successes occurred in 2020 despite the odds, and every day we continue to redefine what is possible to be achieved in Rensselaer County government. Therefore, as your county executive, I'm proud to report tonight that your state of the county is strong and is set on a course for greatness. I'm proud to recognize our collective service in the face of difficulty and how we showed our best when it counted most. The best of Rensselaer County was shown when COVID-19 arrived, and residents looked to county government for help and guidance. We're going to recognize tonight the service and selflessness of so many in county government and acknowledge those who gave so much to so many. And while 2021 is still young, we will also recognize real signs that our county is moving past the turbulence of the last year. There is considerable and strong interest in new investment and job creation in our county. And for the first month of this year, Rensselaer County led not only the region, but the entire state of New York in sales tax revenue growth, just as we did for the year 2019. Pretty amazing. Just a little side note there, we were up 13% in the month of January. Surrounding counties were down anywhere between 6 and 7. On average, the state was down overall at least 6%. So there's about a 20% gap between this county and other counties around the area. Pretty amazing, and a credit to the people of this county. We are perhaps the only county in the state with a 100% rate of delivery for our vaccinations, and we are being recognized as correct in our decision-making during the pandemic, particularly regarding the nursing home. But we still have challenges and missions that await us. Just as we were uncertain 1 year ago, as the pandemic descended, we face many new questions and issues from last year. When will we get back to life as we once knew it? Will our businesses and institutions survive? Will our kids have the chance to catch up at school? Will all affected by COVID-19 be able to fully recover? Some of the answers to those important questions will come from those gathered in this room tonight. Just as our response to the pandemic demanded our best, our continuing fight for health, safety, and eventually full recovery also demands our full commitment, talent, and strength. For much of the past year, since the start of the COVID-19 outbreak, I've been impressed by a new sense of cooperation and understanding of the task before us. When we asked for testing resources, we were supported in that effort by all members of this legislative body and all mayors and supervisors across this county, regardless of political party. When legislation allowing our county to respond to the pandemic is given to this legislative body, it is passed with strong support. An effective partnership is always needed, but even more so during tumultuous times. So I want to thank the Chair of the Legislature, Mike Stammel, Vice Chairman Kelly Hoffman, Chair of Finance Bob Loveridge, Majority Leader Ken Harrington, Minority Leader Peter Grimm, all the members of the legislature. We do appreciate your support and for supporting other important legislation to improve services, infrastructure, and maintain our solid financial standing. Also want to thank our Sheriff, Pat Russo, and our County Clerk, Frank Marola. Frank's been flexible in adjusting needed DMV services and other functions during the pandemic. Pat has worked effectively, as he always does, to protect residents as important laws were changed and new situations emerged on a weekly and sometimes daily basis. That partnership will be important given the news from Washington in recent days. U.S. Senate approved the American Rescue Plan, a massive $1.9 trillion spending package that, as of the printing of this document, is being considered by the House of Representatives. The bill has prompted strong reactions, of course, across the political spectrum, as can be expected. But as approved by the Senate and verified by my conversations with Senator Schumer's office, the package includes $31 million for Rensselaer County. The exact uses and requirements for the funding have yet to be expanded in detail. However, if approved, I would expect to come back and address the full body and the residents of Rensselaer County separately at some point in the spring. I would expect to also seek and receive input from business, community, and education leaders on how to use this money. I can further pledge to you that this funding would be handled as all public money has been handled by my administration and maximized to the absolute benefit of our residents. Our health department, led by Mary Fran Wachunas and other areas of county government, performed heroically and provided help and hope when it was needed most. The health department team spent days, nights, weekends providing information and comfort to county residents when it was most needed. It can be noted, it should be noted, that our health department and this team has had only one day off since the start of the pandemic. One. Unbelievable job by our health department. Let's give Mary Fran a round of applause. The 2021 budget was adopted unanimously by this body. That's our third consecutive unanimous budget. I thank you for that. Third budget that was unanimous, and the third budget with a property tax decrease. That's what we try to do for the residents every day. 2020, this county set a record paving 50 miles of roads, county roads. That has never been done. It's never been close. 50 miles was amazing. We are now somewhere over 105 or so in 3 years. And we have big plans for this year as well, as long as our economy holds up. In the fall, Amazon opened down in Schodack. That's 1,000 jobs for this county. Just as the outbreak was starting, we welcomed R&L Carriers to South Troy for the construction of a maintenance facility, and that created 70 new jobs. We saw Regeneron continue its amazing growth and create several hundred more new jobs. And at the height of the pandemic, they made international news for developing an antibody treatment for COVID-19. And I can report that more good news is on the way as we prepare for more growth and more job creation in the Route 9 corridor, where we have already had some historic success. The county not only maintained important services, we improved and strengthened our commitment to residents. Our commitments can be seen every day throughout the services we provide and the work we do. We work to reduce the burden on our taxpayers and create opportunities for future growth and investment. We provide services, comfort, and we guide and we care. And we provide services to ensure our quality of life and the strength of our communities. Our county continues to position itself for future job growth and investment. Again, I note 3 consecutive budgets and 3 tax decreases, earning unanimous support from all of you folks. Rensselaer County is also one of the very few counties in the state to have been under the tax cap every year since the tax cap's inception over a decade ago. Our budgeting has been accompanied by strong independent audits and upgrades in our bond ratings. The numbers and the budget show our county is being managed effectively and with an eye to the future. In fact, the county now holds the highest bond rating in our history. It's currently just under elite bond status. We are one of the strongest financial counties in this state. Our climb to that highest bond rating came after 3 years where the county generated significant savings in personnel, purchasing, energy, and insurance costs. Rensselaer County has been recognized in audits for strong financial controls because we make every dollar work every day. We've also seen strong performance in sales tax, as I mentioned earlier, led the state in 2019, led the state in January 2021. In 2020, our sales tax revenue was up a little bit from 2019, which is simply amazing given the pandemic that we were dealing with and the fact that 2019 was a record year. We've had 2019, the state saw an average increase. If you remember way back then, the economy was great. The average county in the state was growing at a 4.2 sales tax revenue growth. Rensselaer County, 8.4, 100% higher than the average in this state. Simply amazing. That creates a platform for our fiscal stability and allows us to share that revenue with our cities, counties, and towns. Other counties and towns and cities saw significant decreases, but not here in Rensselaer County. To review, just to highlight a couple of things. The ability to borrow money, which we have not done except for the fire training tower. We borrowed no money in 3 years of my administration, except for that fire training tower, because that made sense to do. That bond rating allows us to borrow that money at a significantly reduced cost. Refinancing the bonds, we saved a ton of money last year when we did that. All of that adds up to a heck of a lot of money over the past couple of years. I want to also go back to our health department for a second. Mary Fran and her team assisted with implementing testing and providing really invaluable contact tracing during the past 10 months. We, I think, provided the best contact tracing in the state. I think we would go up against anybody. It was an in-depth, person-to-person approach. It served the county well during past pandemics. We've contact traced nearly 60,000 people during this process. There was 10,000 confirmed cases that ended up in 60,000 contact tracers. That's an amazing effort by our team. This information is provided vital to our efforts to contain the outbreak, and we recognize the health department's work to help keep cases lower than expected. The work by Mary Fran and her team was so solid that if you remember a while ago, they were talking about a state-run approach and the Bloomberg approach and everything. We said no to that. The reason we said no is we knew we could do it better, and we have. We did not want people from Buffalo or Rochester calling our folks in Rensselaer County, and our team stepped up in an amazing way. They were doing everything from delivering dry cleaning that had to get picked up. They were picking up food and delivering that for people. Simply an amazing effort. And we've expanded on those efforts through partnerships with students at Hudson Valley Community College and Maria College. We also have a group of everyday angels who serve with our Medical Reserve Corps. Our MRC team includes residents with medical or emergency experience who have helped us help residents during testing, contact tracing, and now vaccinations. Their services helped our response at every turn. We've received so many compliments, and I'm sure you all have heard it as well, about how well run that pod is up at Hudson Valley. And that is a credit to our health department and the 400 volunteers from our MRC that show up every day and get the job done and have allowed us to get 100% vaccination rate in this county. They also deserve, the health department of Mary Fran also deserve special recognition and thanks. They've been on the front lines during the outbreak 7 days a week since February of last year, given so much over these difficult months to keep us all safe, while essentially putting their own lives on hold. We owe them great thanks for their service. Their work during these difficult months represents the finest service our county can offer, and thank you is just a start for those folks. So thank you. Last February, a cold winter day, we delivered our 4 millionth Meals on Wheels down in Rensselaer. And when the pandemic forced many to remain home, I directed that our home delivered meals program be expanded. Before the start of COVID-19, our county was delivering 425 meals a day. Very robust program. Most counties outsource that. We do not. We cook our own meals and deliver them. At the peak of the pandemic, we were providing 1,600 meals a day for seniors. Today, we're still above normal figures with close to 700 seniors receiving meals every day. That's outstanding work by our Commissioner for Aging, Carol Rosbosm, and her team, and the many community partners and volunteers who helped with this effort. Our team at the Van Rensselaer Manor, simply incredible. They've showed great confidence and compassion to the residents we are trusted with caring for. And what we know is one of the top senior care facilities in the region. Residents have been separated from their families for 10 months with few opportunities for visits of any kind. We are thrilled that visits began Sunday at the Van Rensselaer Manor. As of today, we have vaccinated 95% of the residents at Van Rensselaer Manor. And as you may remember, I advocated strongly for the state to carefully relax some of the restrictions on visits to nursing homes. If you can imagine being separated from your family and friends for 10 months with little opportunity for contact or connection. The policy set by the governor to essentially not allow visits to nursing homes has been, in my view, overly restrictive and unfair to both residents and families. The state has regularly made exceptions when it wants to and can facilitate needed contact between families and residents and nursing homes. Like I said, we're glad to see that it has started. Visits that have been well received, people are thrilled to be in there. To the families with loved ones at the manor, we are on your side. We want you to be reunited safely with your family members at the manor without delay. We're happy to have helped some families meet after months apart, and we fully recognize the value of these reunions. The manor staff has stepped up and done the best they can to maintain care and lift spirits during a difficult and unprecedented time for our county and for our residents. Thanks to our staff for their work to continue the manner of caring for residents as if they were your own family. Your work has been inspiring and valuable. We have a renewed focus thanks to our new director and our outstanding team. Tonight, please join me in welcoming new Van Rensselaer Manor Director Bonnie Shippey to our county. We're also proud that some of our efforts in responding to the pandemic have been recognized. Our county was awarded $422,000 from the federal government for meeting health and safety standards at the Van Rensselaer Manor. To earn the funding, the county needed to maintain infection and mortality rates at the Van Rensselaer Manor below the surrounding rates in the community. The funding is required to be used for response, preparation, and prevention of COVID-19, all of which stems from one sentence: not now, not ever. When I ran for county executive, I promised to focus on improving infrastructure in our county, including our county road network. With over 330 miles of roads, our county network of roads was showing significant signs of decay and damage. In many ways, and according to many in the county, the service most important to our residents and businesses is our county road network. 50 miles of road is amazing. To do it during 2020, it's really a source of pride for all of you. We appreciate the funding for that. We're particularly proud that during this 3 years, we've done over 105 miles. That's nearly 1/3 of our road network in 3 years. Thanks to our highway team. A lot of new equipment out there that you folks have funded, and we appreciate that, and I know the guys and gals out there too. We appreciate our county highway team led by our engineer Joe Taliska and our superintendent Dave Anthony. Appreciate all of our paving partners as well, many of whom are located right here in Rensselaer County. They've done an outstanding job. An obvious highlight is the great service and compassion shown by our frontline medical providers, our healthcare workers, and our first responders. During the outbreak, I'm enormously proud of the work done by our team here in Rensselaer County. Early on, we encountered difficulty in securing tests for our residents. In fact, New York State ignored our request. We went ahead anyways, and that led to Rensselaer County making the greatest investment in testing in the capital region. We are also now approaching 220,000 tests for county residents to help beat back the outbreak. We've always viewed testing and vaccines as the roadmap back to a quality of life and a strong economy, and have made what we believe is a vital investment in the health and safety of our residents. Thank you to our Bureau of Emergency Services and Director Jay Wilson for their work operating the testing facility. The cost for testing in our county has come with a very significant price, with the county paying out roughly $4.3 million from our own funds to ensure our residents get the testing that they need. Again, we're the only county in the region to pay for our own testing site, and we believe it has made a difference in the fight against COVID-19. We do note the federal stimulus package approved just before Christmas did include funds for local governments like Rensselaer County that have paid for testing. We hope the federal and state governments make good and cover costs for testing at the county level. I'm happy to report that despite the ravages of COVID that caused havoc on numerous municipal governments, Our county clerk, Frank Marola, reported revenue of $2,712,000 against estimated expenses of $2.35 million, returning over $350,000 to county coffers. This is the 22nd consecutive surplus from Frank's office, which is a tribute to his management and his customer service skills. The Rensselaer County Record Room and DMV have remained open to county and capital region residents during the pandemic. People from all over the capital region have utilized our DMV, which along with the record room continues to serve the public on a walk-in basis without need for appointments or other bureaucratic roadblocks in order to provide the best customer service in the Capital District. Thanks to my friend and partner Frank Marola for a job well done during these times. This year will be the year that Rensselaer County opens its new fire training complex, fulfilling a promise I made before I took office. The project was slightly delayed in 2020 due to the COVID shutdown, but we're on track to begin construction this spring. The final permitting approval from DEC is expected in the coming weeks. The old tower and buildings have been demolished. The design is complete. The new fire training simulator tower has been delivered and now we build. The new training facility will be a major way to thank our emergency services volunteers for their outstanding work on behalf of Rensselaer County every day, but particularly during the pandemic. As I have said often, there's no way to fully thank our emergency services volunteers and their families for their work. In the coming days, we will also be announcing a series of grant opportunities for emergency responders to deal with additional costs from the pandemic. I want to thank Bruce Pateri for his efforts to bring this to our attention. 25 years ago, the bridge on County Route 4, Van Hosen Road, was replaced. The Buffalo Bridge, as it's known, takes motorists by the historic Mesick Farm and the herd of buffalo. It's important to other local farms, businesses, schools, and residents. The bridge, somewhat ahead of schedule and due to a product defect, needs to be replaced. For the past 15 months, we've been working to secure necessary approval from the railroad to allow for the construction. After being delayed in 2020 due to lack of approval from the railroad, we expect work will be able to start and be completed in 2021 on the Buffalo Bridge. We're also excited to announce to begin an important project near the Buffalo Bridge with the extension of a sewer line from Maple Hill School along Maple Hill Road. Funding for the project, thanks to the efforts of Senator Jordan and her team, will help expand utility service in an area poised for growth. It's only the start of what we hope will be among other infrastructure improvement and expansion projects in our county. If stimulus money being discussed in Washington is approved, we hope real and lasting funding for expansion of water, sewer, and related infrastructure is approved. That project will allow our county to continue the growth in that corridor. The Amazon project sent a very clear message that we wish to grow this county and no longer see our friends and family leave to find work in North Carolina or Texas or Florida. The job expansion at Regeneron Pharmaceuticals is transforming communities in our county, just as Regeneron's work is transforming the fields of health research. The South Troy Industrial Road will create a new option for diverting traffic and creating opportunities for development in the area. And the county assisted with a needed easement for the city of Troy. We're glad to see that come to completion. The R&L trucking project restores blue-collar jobs to South Troy. We're excited about another project that's about to be announced in the area of the Port of Rensselaer that will create more manufacturing and blue-collar jobs. And we're looking forward to continuing success in the Route 9 corridor in the coming months. And as our friend, the late Senator Joe Bruno, was fond of saying, stay tuned. This job-creating success comes as we are looking to support the many small businesses that provide the foundation for growth in our county. We've accepted grant funding for the establishment of a new position to strengthen interactions between county government and business. This position will include visits and surveys of businesses to find out our shared goals and missions. The county has also revitalized the job development program, which has provided an important source of support for small or startup businesses. we can expect to face challenges from the state government in 2021. We are facing a fiscal reckoning for the pandemic shutdown, and all solutions will not come from Washington. New York State was well into the red before the pandemic, and the need for the state to correct its ways is greater than ever. We have communicated to our representatives in Washington our need for reimbursement and assistance for our pandemic response. Remember, Rensselaer County has incurred millions in expenses for testing and preparedness that have yet to be repaid. As of tonight, only about half of the expenses for testing have been repaid. Our county made a huge investment in testing, preparation, PPE, and other supplies and equipment, and deserves fair treatment. The state still needs to take correct action to fix the bail reform blunder. We saw the public safety problems created firsthand. Remember, it was just last February that we saw a man arrested three times on a single day in Troy. The pandemic may have diverted our collective attention, but it did not erase the problem. Bail reform is an overreach that hurts public safety, the security of our neighborhoods, and the ability of law enforcement to protect us. Recent events in Albany should not distract from resolving the bail reform issue productively and quickly. Let there be no mistake. My administration and the people of this county support our law enforcement. The past year was the first year that expanded engineering services were put in place at the county environmental health, hopefully expediting permits for septic and other services. We're working to provide a high level of safeguards to protect the public and the environment while streamlining the regulatory process in the county. We're now furthering our improvement and expansion of engineering services with a shared services agreement with the county legislature and the county sewer district that is being considered tonight by lawmakers. This agreement will create a significant savings in the sewer district. Rensselaer County has embraced innovation when confronted with challenges. In the fall of 2019, we introduced the ER Anywhere project, which allows Medicaid recipients to access medical services and consultants and doctors from the convenience of their home via cell phone. ER Anywhere is like a virtual ER room. National award winning, we're the first in the nation to do this. We've been invited to speak to other counties about this, and leaders from across other states have reached out to us on this initiative. We believe ER Anywhere can provide answers on how to effectively provide services to a large number of residents at a reduced expense to taxpayers. To date, we've generated over $2 million in savings through the ER Anywhere program, with $400,000 saved in Medicaid. Our county will be continuing this good work during the coming months of 2021. Shows my team's willingness to be creative and embrace new technology to maximize savings and service. The state of New York should recognize this groundbreaking program and adopt it statewide. The Bureau of Central Services, under the leadership of Jim Gordon, has worked very aggressively every day to ensure every purchase, every contract, and every service that is procured or retained provides the best value and outcome for the taxpayers of Rensselaer County. The department has expanded the pool of qualified vendors and implemented new purchasing strategies that have resulted in approximately $1 million in purchase order savings since 2018. As we discussed last year, we've renegotiated our solar energy initiative during 2020. Tonight, I'm pleased to report that we are fully engaged, and our dependency on grid electric has been significantly reduced. Annually, we're deferring over 2.2 million watts from the grid to solar, which in turn generates over $105,000 saved each year, $2.4 million over the contract life. That's 7.4 megawatts, and that's enough to power over 6,000 homes. In addition to our reduction on grid electric and the cost savings we're able to take advantage of and renegotiate our electric utility agreements in 2020, those renegotiations result in an additional $340,000 saved over the contract period. As a continued effort to ensure every expenditure by the county is accurate and true, the department has undergone an audit of the county's utility accounts, The results to date have returned approximately $50,000 in overcharges to the county. The audit is ongoing and further credits are expected. Over the past year, Central Services was able to achieve what many others in local and state government were unable to do, and that is the sourcing and procurement of PPE for use by our county and our local partners. Everything from N95 masks and gloves and face shields, hand sanitizers, wipes, gowns, many other items were received and distributed for use during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. It's also worth noting that many, if not all of these items, we purchased at a very reasonable cost, while others were paying extraordinary markups. We were able to generate or negotiate reasonable rates for ourselves and our local municipal partners, which included school districts and towns and villages, cities, Hudson Valley Community College, as well as our fire departments. Really a job well done by Jim. So one of the operational goals of my administration when we took office was to improve our county's IT infrastructure and services. When I tell you it was in the Stone Age 3 years ago, that's probably being generous. It was a wreck when we got here. As I stand here tonight, I'm proud to announce the accomplishments we have made and those that are soon to come. The ease and security of being able to pay your taxes, your registration fees, and other payments to the county will be available this spring. You'll be able to make these electronic payments through our county website, our new mobile app, or in person at our department. During 2020, we were able to negotiate contracts to greatly improve the speed and performance of our computer network and telecom service. This allows our departments to interact with local, state, and federal agencies more efficiently and to perform daily tasks more effectively. While the new service agreements provide service enhancements that previously weren't available to the county, the cost comes at a savings of $342,000 over the contract period. Project was kicked off in 2020. It'll be completed soon in 2021. It'll feature a redesign of our county website, rentsco.com, and our county tourism site, rentscotourism.com. Enhancements will improve the overall functionality and appearance and include more interactive and available constituent services. We are excited this project will allow for a more transparent and interactive county government through the use of newer and more modern technology. Another project that we started and we announced in 2020, it's soon to be launched, is the Rentsco Connect mobile app. The app, once downloaded from the Apple iTunes or Google Play Store, puts county government at the fingertips of our residents. Here, you'll be able to pay bills, report issues such as potholes and DSS fraud, seek out local businesses, events, historical sites, as well as find all the pertinent information on how to contact those within our county government. Also, highlighted on our app will be the latest information on how to obtain a COVID-19 vaccination and test. County Courthouse, as you all know, has been recognized time and again for its unique characteristics and its historic significance. 21 years ago, the facility underwent a pretty massive $20 million restoration. As I announced last year, we commissioned an engineering and architectural service agreement to explore the restoration of the exterior of this great building. Last month, we received the preliminary results of the study, and we do look forward to reviewing them and discussing our options in the coming months. We're excited to see that our courthouse and family court set to be featured in the spotlight in the upcoming HBO historical drama series, The Gilded Age, which is set to air in the coming months. As we discuss the improvements at the courthouse, we can also look long-term at the existing facilities supporting county government. As executive, I want to reduce our reliance on rented space. I also want to look at our 5 senior centers. 2 are in solid shape, but the remaining 3 are in need of attention or replacement. As we come out of the pandemic, we will make improving our county senior centers a priority. Among the many operational improvements during the COVID-19 pandemic at the Manor were improvements to the air handling system. We understood that one of the best ways to prevent the spread of COVID or any other virus within the nursing home was to ensure that the air was continually purified. Along with our partners at Siemens, we commissioned a project that included the installation of O2 Prime, within all of our air handlers and smaller units installed in the ductwork in each room at the Manor. What we achieved was a level of air purification that exceeds that of every MERV 13 requirement set by the state of New York. This work was completed as part of a larger capital project at the Manor at no cost to the residents of Rensselaer County. We were able to have the project approved under the CARES Act and through State Department of Health reimbursement. That is the cleanest air you'll find anywhere right now at the Manor. Our Department of Social Services, led by Commissioner Teresa Bedoin, has provided important support and safety net services during the pandemic. Public assistance cases have decreased over the last year. A small part of that decrease was due to the additional unemployment insurance benefits available due to COVID-19 under the federal program. The DSS Safety Net 60-month caseload decreased by 35% from 2019 to 2020. This is the public assistance program with the biggest allocation of funding in the county, and it has decreased due to an intensive front-end detection investigation prior to case opening. DSS temporary caseload assistance decreased by 30% from 2019 to 2020. This is also due to an intensive front-end detection investigation prior to case opening. So in both the 60-month safety net and temporary assistance, they both decreased by 30 to 35%. The number of children in residential placements has decreased from 46% to 35% over the last year due to an increase in preventive services, which allows families to take advantage of community-based services. Foster care placements are extremely costly, and this initiative affords families to get the services they need to stay together and reduces the cost to the county. 2020, the probation department fulfilled its mission, continued to fulfill its mission by focusing on the justice system involved individuals and the impact of their behaviors on society. Due to COVID-19 pause restrictions, many of the activities associated with this duty were put on hold. Probation officers were in continuous contact, though, with their probationers and their families virtually or by phone, and an in-home field, reduction of in-home field contacts and face-to-face interactions produced several occasions, unfortunately, of offenders relapsing into addictions. Further compounding the problem is many of the community resources normally utilized by probation officers to assist with behavioral health and substance abuse were also using a virtual format for contacts to meet the COVID-19 restriction mandate. While COVID-19 restrictions eased somewhat during the summer and early fall with the availability and use of PPE, probation increased contacts for youth and adults. Our partnerships with the schools in Rensselaer County allowed us the ability to make in-person visits to the youth we serve. The department's criminal court division, particularly domestic violence, DWI, mental health, opioid and sex offender supervision units, also intensified efforts during this time period. Now that officers have been vaccinated, the department will increase to 100% functionality by March 15, 2021. The department will continue to evaluate and seek knowledge and guidance to reduce racial and ethnic disparities within the justice system. In 2020, an implicit bias committee was formed to raise awareness through teaching and training probation staff about diversity and biases we may form at work and in the community. Our goal is to improve practice and achieve a system that is equitable and fair. County Sheriff's Department and the team at the jail continue to provide security and safety for our residents, while also continuing services and initiatives to house and redirect those charged or convicted in our courts of law of various offenses. The department and jail complied with strict state and federal requirements and navigated the challenges of a tumultuous year. 2020 was a year of diverging viewpoints and ideas. Regardless of your viewpoint on particular issues, this county can be very proud that 11,000 people came to the city of Troy on June 7th, and that demonstration was conducted peacefully and without violence. Credit to the people. So, really great job by our police and by the folks that were there to protest peacefully. Kind of showed an example of how it should and could be done. As we noted in 2020, Rensselaer County Office for the Aging achieved an amazing milestone. 4 million meals is pretty amazing, but The nutrition program, that's the nucleus of all the aging programs. It had been noted that with good nutrition, seniors are able to remain in their homes and active in their communities. In 2020, the aging department served 196,592 meals. Due to COVID-19, the department saw home-delivered meals numbers increase dramatically. Pretty amazing job by those folks, and so many volunteers stepped up. It was an amazing effort. We're the only county in the capital region that directly provides meals to seniors. The remaining counties contract this service out. Being a directly provided service, the county is able to see firsthand the needs of the seniors in our community and provide encompassing support and programming. So there's a lot more in here. I'm gonna wrap it up here, but I would refer you, we're gonna give everybody a copy of the speech, and you have a hard copy of it, but you know, we recognize what a struggle this year was for everybody. I think this county came through it in an amazing way. Rensselaer County is a very caring and giving county. We stepped up to collect and distribute 20,000 pounds of food to feed the hungry. We look forward to doing that good work again this year. In fact, next week we're partnering with the Capital District YMCA, Costa Fruit and Produce Company, and the USDA Farmers to Families program to distribute 1,200 boxes of food to Rensselaer County. The Coats for Kids program was an amazing success. Despite a pandemic, it was the most successful year in 3 decades of that event. That allowed us to distribute nearly 900 coats for kids in need throughout this county. You know, we distributed 40,000 face masks right outside the DMV on one day in April. We had a couple other spots throughout the county that day, free of charge to the folks. They were, at that point, PPE was still in pretty short supply, so they were very, very happy to get that. We were happy to do it. We made many, many visits to individual homes across the county to provide masks to residents, along with regularly delivering stuff to our partners in the city, town, and village level. These deliveries recognize we are united in this mission to protect this county. Our response to this pandemic, it illuminates our path to the future. When challenged, this county came together. The health and safety of our residents was put first, and a comprehensive and compassionate response was given. Our actions help save lives and help protect many others, and let each and every resident in the county know that they were a priority. When we were confronted with orders that jeopardized our residents, my administration stood up and spoke up. When we were denied testing, we united and we worked to provide the testing that created a roadmap to recovery. There's a lot ahead of us in the coming months. We're not out of the woods yet, but we are getting there. The year 2020 was the year of the pandemic. 2021 will be the year of recovery and renewal. During the past year, we brought about tremendous success in creating new jobs and opportunities in this county. We continued our fiscal responsible policies that produced a 3rd consecutive tax reduction and promoted our county enough that we continue to be a leader in sales tax growth. We expanded or improved needed services like roads and emergency response. All that good work is a foundation for our future and our way back to normalcy. During the coming months, we'll again face challenges, including some discussed here and some that are unexpected. We've shown that united and focused, our county will not be denied our chance for prosperity and a better quality of life for every one of our residents. And on the day I took office, I said this: I fought hard to get to this office, and I want you to know I will fight even harder for Rensselaer County. I believe we have done just that during a year of unprecedented challenge. I stand before you proud of our accomplishments and even prouder of the way our county came together to protect our own and accomplish important and outstanding goals and achievements. Let's continue to make history here in Rensselaer County. Thank you. God